What is up, guys? Lego Panda Customs here, back with another video for you guys. And today I got my last showcase for the year probably, and this is my Lego Custom showcase of the Black Order. And to start off with, I was inspired by the new film that's coming out in the MCU next year on May, which is the Infinity War. And also I got inspired by the comic book series Infinity, which it was their first appearance, I believe. And I fell in love with the characters, I fell in love with the villains of the story and the plot, so I decided to make these figures based on their comic book look. I will be making the film versions of them eventually when I get around February or March. I will be making Infinity War showcase, and I will make them probably a 2-part or 3-part showcase, so stay tuned for that in the future for further details on my showcase. But here we got the 5 members of the Black Order in the comics, which composes of Ebony Maw, Corvus Glaive, Proxima Midnight, Supergiant, and the Black Dwarf. Now these characters, I absolutely love them, like I said, and I love how they came out, each and one of them. I really enjoyed making these figures, especially Ebony Maw, Proxima Midnight were really fun to make, and most importantly, in my opinion, the most fun figure to make was the Big Fig, which I will go in more detail about that right now once I get into the details of each figure. But I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to take credit for, I think I was the first one, I am the first one to make the Black Order in minifigures in Lego based on their comic book look. I know there's some folks out there in Instagram and other social media platforms where they're already making the MCU look, or the characters that from the MCU based on what they're gonna look like in the film. So I'm just gonna take credit for the comic style. I'm just gonna take credit that I was at least the first person to come up with this idea of making them. This was one of my secret projects, and yeah, I'm very excited to show you guys every figure, every detail of them, and yeah, let's just go right into it. So here we have Corvus Glaive, of course, the main leader of the Black Order, and hopefully this next film that's coming out in the MCU, which is Infinity War, I hope they portray his character as he is in the comics, because I absolutely love this character. And I have my favorite character, which we'll go later in the video. But let's just start off by saying that this is a great figure. I really enjoyed making this figure, and I'll just give you a 360 view on it while I explain everything it has and every detail, and we'll go through every single thing that he has, like I said. So here you go. Corvus Glaive is a really simple figure to make. The only thing that was kind of challenging was the face. I had to redo it like 5 times. For example, as you can see, the head is just a gray head with a little bit of details right there as the teeth and the eyes right there. So let me just put my hand right there, see if we can focus a little bit more. So you can see it right there. It looks really nice and really cool and really neat. And I tried to make it as accurate as possible to the comics. Then we have the hood right here, which, by the way, this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for thanks to Corvus Customs or Habit Customs video on how to make hoods. So I will link his video on the description below. So if you want to know how to make hoods, I suggest you go ahead and go to his video, because I absolutely love the way he does it, and I think this works out for him. So shout out to Habit or Corvus Customs for making that video, and link to the description below. And speaking of hoods, I also added a little lightning bolt type of thing to his hood on the sides, both ends of the hood. I added that because in the comics he has like 2 bolts in his like hood and stuff. So I just painted him a little bit of gold right there, so it can like not combine, but it can like match with the rest of the figure, which is primarily gold and black. So that's really cool. There's of course no back features, of course, to the figure. Then let me just take off his spear, which we will go in a second later. And the body was really simple to make. All I added, of course, was the muscles and stuff, and then I added that little triangle right there as the belt or whatever he has in his waist. Then we have a little black dot, as you can see right there. It's glossy, so you probably can see the like dot right there. between both his legs and torso, so that's really nice. Then you have the arms, which of course has like a little piece right there. Well, it's not a piece, it's just painted, but in the comics that's like a little piece. I'm not sure what it's called, but that's what he has in the comics. As well, we can show you right now. He has little like gold fingertips right there, and then also that's also applies to the other side of the hand or the arm, the other arm. Same thing right there. So they match perfectly. Then we got the legs right there. Of course, there's black with a bunch of gold lines there, and then we have little dots right there in his toes and feet. And then on the side of the legs, we just have the continuation of the gold lines right there in the knee area. So I think that does not go all the way around, but it just goes right there because I didn't want to make that much. And he does not have any back detail to him whatsoever. So that's pretty much it for this figure. And before I just give you my final thoughts on this figure, I want to show you the weapon itself, and here it is. And without this, he wouldn't be immortal, because even though he's destroyed, this weapon of his can bring him back to life. So all I did is just added like the little this is spear from the Hobbit sets, and then I cut a piece from the Lego Ninjago swords, from the gold ones for Lloyd, and I just glued it into there. It's a little bit here it's squared off because of the hand area, but you really don't notice that a lot. I will fix that, of course, but you really don't notice it like looking like that. So yeah, I mean, I will fix that in the near future, but for right now I'm just gonna leave it how it is because I really just want the figure itself. So yeah, there's Corvus Glaive. Let me just adjust my lighting because it has a shadow. So there you go. I think that's good. But yeah, there's Corvus Glaive. I think it's mostly because of his weapon. Yeah, but there's Corvus Glaive right there. I hope you guys enjoy this figure right here, and I hope you guys also appreciate the figure. So without further ado, let's go ahead with our another figure in this showcase, which is Proxima Midnight. So here we have Proxima Midnight, of course, and this figure I really liked, and I really had fun with making, with especially the helmet area or the head area, which I'll go for a second. But first, let's just take off her weapon and just show you exactly what I did to this figure. So basically, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I just sculpted the breast area, and then I had a little like gold right there, right up there with a little dot, and we just see if we can focus that right there. You can see the gold right there. Then near the neck area, you can see a little bit of blue, so it can resemble like the connection between the head and the neck. Then we have a little bit of black there. I left the white right there. Then we have black right here as well, and a little bit of gray right there. A little bit of I think that's light gray in that area, and then the black just continues all the way to the back, and that's how it looks like in the back. And then we have the continuation there. The arm is sculpted because in the comics she has like a gold arm or metal arm, so I just added a little bit of sculpted details right there, and I think it looks pretty nice and does justice to the figure. Everything's just gold, and yeah. Then we have the hair right here, which I absolutely love how it came out, and then we have the little gloss. We have the gloss black right here, and her head. On her head, I sculpted these parts right here, as well as these parts right here. The head is also sculpted on top of that, and then I added the little lines of white to represent her eyes, and then the black continues all around her chin, if you can notice that too. And yeah, that's primarily it for this figure. I mean, there's nothing that much to explain, although that it is a pretty nice figure that I made, and I really enjoyed making this figure. So let's just go with her weapon as well. For her, we have this sphere, which is her primary weapon in the comics. All I did is just, I think this is a Loki staff. I just cut the little edges or the little spikes that came out of it. Then I just added this arrow, which came out in the Guardians of the Galaxy set, I believe, one of Yondu's arrows. So I just added that to it, and voila, you got her spear right there. But yeah, I really enjoyed making this figure, and I hope you guys also enjoyed um, looking at this figure, and I hope you guys admire and what's it called? Hope you guys appreciate my work, and I hope you guys enjoy this figure as well. I don't know how many times I said that, but there you go, Proxima Midnight right there. And let's go with our next figure, which is my favorite character in the Black Order, and that is Ebony Maw. So here we got Ebony Maw, and I absolutely love this character in the comics. I know I said that for Corvus Glaive, but I think this guy tops my favorite character in the Infinity series, because this guy right here is a great persuader, and he just persuades Doctor Strange and every single person in the comics that he wants to get information from. And I hope they do that in films. I hope they have a scene between Doctor Strange and Ebony Maw, where Ebony Maw is trying to persuade Doctor Strange to give him the Infinity Stone with the Time Gem. So I hope they do that, because I would really, really like to see that. But let's just start with the figure. I mean, all I did here is a pretty simple thing. I sculpted this whole area right here. The little black lines right there are E-tape. They're white in the side and a little bit of black line right there. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the details right there. I added here's a gold line through there. Looks like a T. Then on the side, we just have the arms with the little gold part right there. That's it has in comics. And then the hair is just like a widow's peak hair. And the head, of course, is the same process I did to Corvus Glaive. I might change the hair some other time, but the head. But I'm just gonna leave it how it is right now, because I really like it and how it came out. But if I decide to change it because of color reasons, because I don't think it matches with the hands, because in the comics it's kind of weird, his design, because sometimes there's parts of the comics where his skin is lighter and then it's darker and then it's gray and it's like a very light flesh color. So I really just didn't know what to do, so I just added both colors right there, and I really don't see anything that's inaccurate, although yes, his face or his color might be inaccurate. That's might be all. Then as the back of the torso and everything, we does not have anything. The reason why is because I didn't find as much concept or back reference for his body. So if I ever do find a back reference for him, of course I will upgrade him and I will add that to him. So yeah, let's go ahead and go with our last minifig, because the next one, or the last one, will be a big fig, but the last minifig I'll be showcasing here is Supergiant. So here is Supergiant, and this is the last minifigure of the showcase, as in scale wise, because I have only 4 minifigures for this, and then I have a big fig which will go next after I showcase this one. Hood is from minifig Cape Madness, and the cape is also from Cape Madness. The head is also the same one. If you didn't know, this is the same one that I used for Proxima Midnight. I'm not sure where the head is from. It might be from Ninjago. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it might be either from Ninjago or from like Chima. I don't know. So yeah, I just added those 2 elements right there, and then I also did the same thing for like Proxima Midnight. I added a sculpted breast area. Then the legs, or I added just the black glossy paint all over the legs right there. The black just runs all over that. Then you have a little black line going up there, then some like lines right there as well with gray. Her costume in the comics is really not that much detail. It is quite complex, but I just decided to just make what I could find, and I did find a lot of reference for her. But like I said, her costume is not that like detailed as Corvus Glaive or Black Dwarf, which we will go in a second. Then her arm is just black, and a little bit of like same thing like Ebony Maw. It has a little gold dot right there, and then the gold right there, and then the little white there in the hand. The black here in the sides as well goes all through the torso, which I will go in a second in the back. Same thing goes right here, self-explanatory. Same thing I did in this arm right here. Then I have a little dark gray right there, and a little bit of lines right there, and then 2 little like areas where there's like light gray right there. Then there's a line right there above the breast area. So yeah, I mean self-explanatory for that area. Then we're still in the back torso. Not that much to show, just that. Then a little bit of white here as well, and gold right there. So yeah, not pretty much to show, just other than that. I really enjoyed making this figure as well. But let's go with the final figure, or the final character in this showcase, and that is the Black Dwarf. So here's our last figure for the showcase, and of course, it is the Black Dwarf. And I really like this character in the comics as well. He's like this, basically this person in the group who's like has like super strength and stuff, and he's the size of Hulk. I think even bigger than a Hulk, I believe. But here he is, and honestly, I really enjoyed making this figure a lot. And the sculpting in this figure is just amazing, and I really am proud of it. Primarily, the colors here are just dark, not dark, but a little bit of another variation of orange, and a little bit of metallic silver, metallic blue, and a little bit of purple for some of the parts right here. As you can see, this is of course sculpted by, not sculpted by, but it is sculpted with green stuff. Everything you see here is sculpted with green stuff, and the base of the figure is actually a bootleg Fantastic Four Ben, or the Thing. So if you don't like bootleg, I'm really sorry, but I mean, to be honest, it's the only resource that we have for big figs. And also the skin, not the skin, but the color of the figure was a little more easier for me to use, because since it's the similar color that they have in the comics. The pants, of course, right there are just dark blue with a little bit of sculpted pads right here and stuff, which are light blue. That little circle right there, which is his belt area, or his I'm not sure what it's called, but I painted it purple, of course, with a little bit of white, just to represent the reflections of the light hitting it. Then we have the little blue, or the strap that goes around him, which is also metallic blue, and also the same thing as here, purple and just white for the reflection. Then we have the little piece right here, of course, in the side of his arm, and it's also metallic blue. The hand also has some little like spikes, which he has in the comics. He has like these spikes all over his body and stuff. Same thing applies here. The shoulder pad right there as well, and then some of the, sorry about that, but some of the spikes are also right there as well, present right there, and as well as in the back as well. You can see there too. Yes, the head is removable, so if you want to take it off, voila, you can see a little bit of the color right there, and you can put it back as well. Now the face, I will admit the face is kind of weird. I tried my best to represent him like he is in the comics, but hopefully in the future I could possibly upgrade him or fix him a little bit, but I just tried my best to do there. Of course, you see a little bit of same thing, spikes those spikes are all over the place as well, and then you have the little sculpted nose right there, and then the mouth right there, of course, and then the eyes there too. Then the black stuff, or the shading, I would say, all over his arm and stuff, or his battle damage, whatever you want to call it. I just did it with a little bit of black, and I just, just added a little bit of it, every single part, just like tapping on it, and it came out perfectly fine. But other than that, I mean, I really enjoyed this figure, and I really enjoyed making it, and I really like this character in the film, in the comics. But like I said, I really like Ebony Maw, and I hope they do justice to the character in the film. But other than that, let's just wrap up with this showcase. So yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and comment below what you guys think about these figures, and subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel and you're just came in and like my figures. So subscribe to my channel for more content. Yeah, guys, so just follow my social media for more updates and pictures and stuff of figures I'm working on currently. And speaking of figures I'm working on, I am currently working on another project, and I will be, hopefully, will be my first video for 2018 around January, February. Just depends on how much things I have in school. So yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching, and just make sure to give me some feedback on what you guys think about these figures. And other than that, thanks for watching, and see you next time.
in the morning to the clear blue sky. Turn up the music when I hop in the ride.